Reincarnated in a new magical world, Lug and his companions accept to assassinate some nobles in a slave auction. In his previous life, before his death, he was the world's best assassin training a rookie during an assassination mission. When it was time to escape, they get intercepted by a drone which forces them to improvise on the spot to survive. On the next day, the assassin announces his intentions to retire and serve as a mentor for future assassins in Japan. When they arrive at the nearby airport, they use fake passports and boarded a flight to Japan. While midair, the plane is attacked by an organization fighter jet. Realizing that he has been duped, the assassin regrets living his life as a tool without emotions. After his death, he gets confronted by a goddess giving him two choices: reincarnate as a completely new person or be reborn without losing his memories, with a goal to assassinate the hero of that new world. The assassin agrees with the goddess's proposal. He yearns for happiness because he suppressed his emotions in his past life. The goddess gave him the option to select his special powers and abilities. She warns him to assassinate the hero within 18 years after his birth, or the hero will create havoc and destroy the new world. There's also a possibility to save the world without killing the hero, but the chances are very slim. The assassin is then reborn as a member of the Tuatha family. In the public eyes, they're just a medical family, but in reality, they're an assassin clan that carries out requests for the royal family. 7 years later, after Lug's reincarnation, his father examines his physical growth as he shows to be an expert in hunting and cooking. His father decides that Lug's body can stand a special eye surgery. Lug will be enabled to detect magic in a person or an environment as a result. His father also promises to teach him how to perform the surgery when the time is right. Lug's family hires Dia Vicone to be Lug's magic teacher. She was still very young, but she was already one of the Swagel's top 5 mages. Dia gives to Lug a far, a special gemstone to measure his magical capacity. Lug's power is so great that ends up making the far explode. His parents rush to check if they're injured, as Lug's father with a serious face expression asks if it was due to Lug. Dia tries to cover it, but as Lug's father pressures Dia, she finally admits it was Lug's fault. His parents' expressions completely change as they act proud of Lug's power. Over the next couple weeks, Lug and Dia grow emotionally attached to each other. Lug demonstrates his fast learning ability by not only synthesizing metals, but also making weapons. They also use each other's knowledge to create new spells. On their last night, Lug gives Dia a titanium knife as a thanking gift. In return, she gives him her own Far Stone. Post Dia's departure, his father decides it's time for Lug's first assassination and explains their clan's methods. His victim is a woman accused of multiple crimes who tries to claim innocence, but Lug kills her painlessly because he knows she is lying. As Lug reaches 10 years old, in order to help him complete the goddess's request to kill the hero, Lug uses his family's eye ability to find a servant to be his assassination assistant. During a hunt, he comes across Tart, a girl being attacked by wolves. The girl had come to the Tuatha region in search of a better life after being abandoned by her family. Lug brainwashes her into joining his clan as a servant and successfully asks his father for permission to train Tart as an assassin. Reaching the age of 12, he discovers that Tart has mastered spear fighting skills but is struggling with smaller weapons like knives. Lug decides to take a different approach. He devises a retractable spear. Tart now can conceal the spear beneath her clothes, solving the problem. He now believes Tart can become a valuable asset in his mission to kill the hero. Over the time, due to Dia's teachings, Lug has amassed a sizable collection of Far Stones. He intends to use them as grenades. His father calls him in order to confirm if Tart is a spy from another region or not. Lug denies it, claiming he never found a mental or physical clue on the possibility of Tart being a spy. She was too innocent to be a spy. Lug's father tells him there are 2 requirements for him to become an official family assassin. First, he must fight his father in an exam and prove he's capable of carrying out the missions. Even with his previous life experience, his father proves to be a formidable opponent but unable to beat Lug. Successfully passing the exam, Lug joins his father in carrying out assassinations, which are explained to make their job easier. Second, for the next 2 years, he must pretend to be a member of the Balor family, which specializes in commerce. The Tuatha family throws a party to commemorate Lug's final mission. Everyone is impressed since he's the youngest member in the history of their clan to reach the last assessment, with members of the family claiming Lug's potential to become the next head of the family. Rana, a branch family member, decides to challenge him to a duel, but he gets easily defeated. As Rana is leaving, Lug gives him a special sword so that he can continue his night training and become Lug's subordinate in the future. On the next day, Lug and Tart leave on their journey to the Balor region. Episode 6. As Lug and Tart start their new life in the Balor region, we meet Maha and her friends struggling to make ends in Miltew, a merchant town. Unfortunately, they end up being kidnapped and taken to an orphanage by a gang of bandits, but they realize it tends to be a prostitution ring's front. All of the girls, with the exception of Maha, are forced into prostitution by the local noble. They are deeply traumatized, and one of them is even killed as a result of it. One of the girls, Noin, thinks if it means she will not have to work as a prostitute, she will scar her own face with a sickle. 2 years have passed. Maha realizes she is next in line and is about to do the same thing as Noin. Lug eventually discovers him under the alias Alig Balor. However, the orphanage director tells Lug that he must wait 3 days before purchasing her, as they plan to make her lose her virginity. Fortunately, Lug saves Maha, and with Tart's assistance, he is able to expose the noble's crimes and arrest him. Noin discovers that her face scars have healed as the prostitution ring is shut down, and Maha finds a new home with Lug. With the knowledge from his past life, Lug comes up with the idea of opening cosmetics shop in Miltew, as he continues his life as Alig Balor, in order to boost the Balor family's profits while also funding his assassination duties. He introduces the new world to lotions, moisturizers, and sweets. Even the Balor's wife claimed she started to see him as her own son after being introduced to such miraculous products. In only 6 months after opening, his shop Orna saw a massive increase in sales and a significant competitive advantage. Spy agents hired by rival businesses attempt to infiltrate Lug's home in order to learn the secrets of his success. Lug is able to capture at least one spy with the help of Tart and Maha. Despite torturing him, he is unable to extract any useful information from him. This shop was only part of Lug's plan to establish connections with the noble class, making it easier to perform assassinations. As Lug temporarily decides to leave Miltew to visit Daya in order to expand his magical knowledge as his business grows. On the next morning, Lug discovers that he had a wet dream while Maha and Tart slept beside him. As he freaks out, he tries to give them a scientific explanation, but the girls start implying that they want their relationship to be more than just companions. Lug ends up questioning himself if this was also planned by him. Lug decides to return home and continue his assassin training after establishing a successful business in Miltew. He leaves Maha in charge of Orna, knowing that she wants to expand the company into new areas, and he promises to pay her a visit. He knows Maha is capable of such a feat since she's the daughter of a successful merchant. A pack of wolves ends up attacking Lug and Tart on their way home. Tart easily dispatches them, and Lug notices that monster attacks on human settlements have become more common. He thinks the hero will appear soon. Upon returning, Lug is summoned to his father's study, where his father, Cyan, offers him the opportunity to leave the life of an assassin and instead live a peaceful life as a merchant. Cyan claims he has reached the age where he can no longer do anything else with his life, but Lug is still free to follow his own path. Lug, on the other hand, prefers to continue living his current way of life, admitting that he is in love with Daya. He claims that if he does not have the privileges of the Alvan Kingdom's aristocracy, he will not be able to marry her. After hearing his son's words, Cyan decides to assign his first real assassination mission. Count Asbavenkor is Lug's first target as a fully trained assassin. The Count sells military secrets to neighboring kingdoms in exchange for drugs and distributes them throughout the kingdom. As Cyan once told Lug that he needs his humanity to perform assassinations, our protagonist decides to investigate the Count on his own. He uses Maha's investigation network in order to confirm if the target is indeed guilty or if should be spared. Lug and Tart visit Paisar, the kingdom's second largest merchant town. They witness the drug's effects on the mother of a poor girl and decide to bust the local drug smuggling gang. Lug and Maha later go to the Count's mansion under the guise of selling Orna's products, which turns out to be a success for Orna. While talking to the Count's wife, she reveals that her husband enjoys drinking wine while gazing at the moon. This information enables Lug to set up his plan. As night falls, Lug uses his newest weapon, a magical sniper rifle, to silently assassinate Count Minkor. He pauses and observes the grieving wife's reaction. Lug has no regrets, but he swears to never forget this mission. Since it is his first mission, he did it as a free man, not as someone else's tool like he was in his previous life. Lug and Tart spend a month on a deserted island as part of their assassin training. When they return to the mainland, Maha tells them about a divine treasure, a weapon with unimaginable power. She says Setanta Maknes possesses this divine treasure, a magical spear known as Gibalg, a well-known warrior who is rumored to be the legendary hero. Lug asks if she's able to buy it. Maha replies she's already in the negotiation process. Maha also informs Lug that the Vicone region is at war. He decides to rush to Daya's house, offering her a way out if the war comes to her doorstep. Daya refuses to leave her homeland, citing she has responsibilities to her family and people. While in Daya's hometown, Lug asks Daya to go out on a date as they disguise themselves. By the end of the day, Daya rents a local hot spring. Lug gets confused asking if it's gender mixed, but Daya just takes her clothes off and asks him to hurry up. When Lug returns home, he still believes he can assist Daya in escaping the war. Daya, on the other hand, has already begun to defend herself by fortifying her hometown. A wounded soldier later requests that the Tuatha family assassinate Daya. Cyan explains that Daya's father ordered the assassination of his own daughter in order to end the civil war that is currently raging in the Vicone region. Cyan reminds his son that Tuatha family has always had the option of rejecting missions based on their personal preferences. But Lug realizes that Daya's death will not be enough to stop the war, and he deduces that he can save Daya by using this mission. His father decides to tell him the truth about why he's helping an outsider when he should only be helping the kingdom. He tells Lug that in his life, he only went against the Tuatha principles in order to save Lug's mother. His mother is also from the Vicone family and Daya is Lug's cousin. As Lug accepts the mission, Tart accepts his feelings for Daya and assists him in reaching the Vicone region in a manner that conserves his magical energy. Upon arriving, Lug notices the Vicone mansion under siege. He manages to get to Daya, trying to avoid the most possible casualties. During Lug's mission, Maha finds out about the divine treasure Lug's seeking. She makes the decision on the spot to inform Lug about its whereabouts. When finally meeting Daya again, Lug meets her father, claiming that she will be taken away from him in more ways than he expected. He didn't expect her to have any kind of romantic feelings for Lug. Lug devises a plan to forge Daya's death and safely transport her to his Tuatha region. However, Setanta Maknes arrives and interrupts the plan before it could be carried out. Since Setanta wields Gibalg, Lug knows a direct confrontation with him will be fatal, so he fires a magnetically propelled tungsten projectile into the atmosphere, stalling Setanta long enough for it to obliterate him. After that, already on Lug's territory under the guise of being Lug's younger sister, the Tuatha family adopts Daya, completing the mission. By the end of our story, sometime later Lug learns that the hero, Lord Epona Rhiannon, has finally arrived at the Alvin Kingdom. This is all for this anime. Give the video a like, and I will see you in the next minutes.